Woo! Here we go, we're back. We're back again. Hello, this is Pedro Romero coming in for week number 5 in the 3rd season of Yahari Ore no Seishun love comedy wa Machigateiru, or in English terms meaning my youth romantic comedy is wrong as I expected. So episode number 5, it is around like 10 p.m. where I live. We're going into this episode which frankly has tons of suspense. I mean, when we left off the last one, Hachiman received a call from Hirasuka Sensei concerning the possible cancellation of his high school's prom ceremony for the outgoing seniors. And in order to tackle that issue, he basically told the teacher how he feels about remedying that issue. He had to admit, or like silently admit on the phone, the one reason why he wanted to help out Yukino and Iroha, who are both in charge of organizing the prom issue. And after that phone call, he told Yui, whom he was walking with outside of class, to go on without him. And after he turned and ran back to the high school, she saw him off with a little tear running down her cheek. And though he caught wind of her near collapse, she immediately deflected it and like dropped all concerns about her well-being, saying to Hachiman that no, it's fine, I'm okay. You just go on and deal with whatever you have to do. Just let me be, and I'll be okay by myself. But long story short, she wasn't okay. She wasn't okay. Anyway, we're starting off the 5th episode from that tearjerker. So, let's go. When he turned back, she already ran away. She already ran away. No, wait, hold on. That quick? That quick? Since I'm a light novel reader, I already know what happened in between the opening scene of the 5th episode, and right off the bat, it already cut off like some key material about his feelings over watching Yuigahama run off immediately after ending their walk home. So, yeah, pretty shocking, to be honest. I mean, once again, they cut off more of Hachiman's inner monologue from the start of Volume 13, the interlude, preceding Chapter 1. It's very disappointing, very, very disappointing. We're immediately cutting to why am I getting so ahead of myself? Let's just move on. So we're already starting off with the meeting with Hirasuka Sensei. Bureaucracies are a pain, man. Free reign. Immediate cut to Yukino Shida's mom. Oh shit, that's a lot of fucking captions. Oh shit, that's a lot of fucking captions. Oh my god. Woo! I gotta pause this thing and read it out. Apology, is she on social media? The apple looks good though. Wonder how much time she'll get. Even ever consider how the apple feels? So wrong, but she's wrong. Other bad things too. Lol. It's okay. It's a lot of fucking messages. Woo! I have to fucking calm down, man. That's a lot of fucking messages. And the subtitles too. I mean, if you can watch what I'm watching, Jesus fucking Christ. The last part of the OP was all cloudy. The sky was cloudy.
やっぱりプロも実現させ
まあ求められないのには慣れてるんで
Couldn't have said it better myself, man.
ちょっと嬉しくてね
I mean, like, Hiraska Sensei laughing is kind of like a bittersweet moment because, like, she's the only person who has actually helped out Hachiman progress his relationship with Yuki Noshiro and Yuigahama. It's through her words that he was able to think about how he should think of his friends. I mean, not as like a superficial relationship where all they do is just get together for a few hours outside of school and then just playing around and doing stuff like that. But he sees them as like those very trustworthy friends that he would go through tooth and nail for. I mean, she's the one that's been telling them, hey, now or never. I mean, you're gonna have to struggle to find that true thing, and even though it might hurt in the long run, it was worthwhile. And Hachiman being I want to say bright, but not really bright. So like being the obedient student that he is, just took those words and put them to use, which is very prevalent in this case. It's like a symbol for the progression he has gone through since that moment in season 2 until right now.
試練ですか
A trial.
通過儀礼とも言い換えられるかな
I mean, a rite of passage is the perfect way to paint this arc of the series. I mean, in the very beginning, she told Hachiman and Yuigahama up front that the next problem that comes their way, she wants to solve it under her own power, because leading up to that, she has been very vulnerable, very weak. Whenever something comes up, she would look at somebody else to solve the problem for her. For example, when Haruno called Yuigahama when the main three were staying in Yuigahama's apartment, and Yuki Noshida, in trying to come up with an explanation for her being there, took the words verbatim off of Hachiman's mouth. I can't remember exactly what it is, but that's what she essentially did. And in accordance to her personality, which has been like very cold, very lonesome, very conservative or like reclusive, she is not one who is very willing to allow another person to come in and basically help out. In her eyes, they're intruding on her personal growth. And as what Hiraska Sensei said, that intrusive person turns out to be Hachiman. But keep in mind, this is a subjective view. This is all coming within Yuki Noshida's mind from the perspective of Hiraska Sensei. So yeah, a rite of passage. That's what the prom organization is. If she can go through this obstacle, which has grown in trouble with the inclusion of her mother, then she will have thought as being grown up.
あなたの力はもう借り
結構難しいですね
That scene is very difficult. That flashback of Yukino squinting while talking to Hachiman, it's fucking tough, man. It's fucking tough. Woo! I hate that, man. I mean, having faith. Having faith after all of the experiences they have gone through. Let me give you a hypothetical. If Hachiman and Yukino and Yuigahama went ahead and did the prom organization thing, but without having gone through all of the other experiences in the past, the trip to the summer camp, the Ebinatobe fiasco, the sports festival, the cultural festival, that like triple date at the end of the second season, then of course when push comes to shove, they're going to separate very easily. I mean, they don't know each other enough to like generate trust. But fortunately, since they have gone through all of that mess together, they have built up that trust and that camaraderie that best friends are usually associated with. So in that case, the prospect of separation is going to be much tougher in that junction in comparison to the hypothetical junction. Getting separated is not going to be an easy task, that's for sure. Yes, Sensei was asked a similar question from before. I wonder who said that question.
恋じゃないし、私にも抜きだし、若者だし。何かあれば私の首を飛ぶだけだ。その時はまあ結婚でもするかな。相手いないけど。
心配いらないですよ。
もらってくれる？
なんでだよ、もらう。
What?
なんかもったいないでしょ。
Ah! Come on, fucking do it, Hachiman. I fucking dare you to fucking take her as your wife. I fucking dare you. And you, Hidesuka Sensei, I fucking dare you to take him as your husband, even though you guys are only separated by 10 years. It does not matter. Follow the trend. Follow the trend. Love is love. It doesn't matter if it's love between a fucking teacher and a student. I mean, we have many other stories that had followed that fucking storyline. We've had countless stories out there in manga and anime that has like catered to the teacher-student relationship timeline and stuff like that. Bokuben, Nande Koko ni Sensei ga, even though I never watched it. Domestic Girlfriend, I swear to God, man. It's okay to follow that. I mean, I'm just saying, it's okay. Hidesuka Sensei, if you love him that much, fucking go for it. Fucking go for it. Take her! Student council room. Really? Didn't expect that, huh? Hirohasu. In case you're wondering what part the show is at in the light novel, I think we're entering... Calm down for a second. I think we're in chapter 2 in volume 13. Chapter 2, volume 13. Yeah. Overprotective. Overprotective, of course. I mean, he is very docile on caring for people below his age. Case in point, Komachi. Just saying.
なんでって言われてもな。そもそも最初にお前が手伝えっつったんだろうが。
True.
私のためですか？何ですか？それ口説いてるんですか？特別扱いって悪い気はしませんし、困っているところを助けられるのは嫌いじゃないですか？それはそれとしていろいろ片付いてからお願いします。ごめんなさい。
そうだな。全然違うけど大体合ってるな。
何ですかその反応？違いますか？そうですか？
Bitch! You got a point there, Hirohasu. None of this shit would have happened had you not fucking showing up that one day in the service club, man. It's always your fault, man. Since you showed up, you've done nothing but cause trouble, Hirohasu. Damn. God damn, Hirohasu. What are you gonna say? Oh, fucking got his ass. Fucking get over here, bitch. Get over here, bitch. God damn, Hirohasu. Calm down. You're getting too aggressive here, man. By the way, that answer's not good enough for Hachiman. You have your own reasons? You can do better than that.
責任がある。
責任です。
責任ですか? 責任ですか? Responsibility. Doesn't that sound familiar, guys?
いいよ。もともとヨレヨレ。
Then what she expected? I wonder what she was thinking about before he came up with that answer. Was she thinking about, I don't know, like fucking love? Maybe? Perhaps? Possibly?
めんどくさい人たちだな、本当。
No.
私としては
Not all guys are a pain in the ass. It's the loners that are a pain in the ass, because we have a difficult time in expressing how we actually feel to people outside of our bubble. Well, us loners are trapped in this bubble where we're trapped with all of the things that makes us comfortable. So I don't know where she's going on about, since she has never gone down the path of a loner, but it is what it is. I mean, extroverts go out and just say stuff like this. Come on, man. Or come on, girl.
それ君だけでは
That's definitely fucking her.
あら、引きがよく。石木さん、休憩にしましょうか。
そうですね。
Why is she flipping the whiteboard though? Why is she flipping the whiteboard?
聞いたの？
もう由比ヶ浜と一緒だったんだよ。
そう。
What was with that? What was with that pause, Yuki Noshida? What was with that pause? It said about that one contest that must not be said. I wonder what it is.
戻って交渉材
She really didn't want him to see the whiteboard. So Yukino eliminates and points out the flaws in Iroha's ideas. I mean, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, and you factor in Yukino's willingness to grow by herself, is this really a sign of personal growth? I mean, from what I can see, Yukino's only one that is working towards organizing the prom. It's supposed to be a coordinated thing with Iroha's and the rest of her student council, but from the looks of it, it's just her pinpointing all of the suggestions in order to appease the vocal minority, ergo offended parents, that were not alright with the presentation of what the prom is supposed to look like a couple of episodes ago. Keep it classy, dress code, no uploading photos, get an official
で、こ
photographer.
れどれくらい賞賛あるんだ。
それなりには。
I mean, once again, they're not showing Hachiman's thought process in looking at the whiteboard. He points out like what Yukino's thought process in making the large list of ideas in the whiteboard. From the light novel, he explicitly points out that some of Yukino's handwriting is too small, which implies the notion that she's not really confident with her very own suggestions. It's as if like she's too afraid of encountering a roadblock in her plans of organizing the prom. She talks so much about wanting to grow by herself, but in the same time she's not willing to take that extra step in experiencing the failures that accompany said growth, because sometimes in order to improve you must first fail on certain things.
あ、私ちょっと。
待って、プロムの話でしょ。なら石木さんもいてもらった方がいいわ。
あ、そうですかね。
Why is this decision? Because I bet Yukino Shida is going to be very overwhelmed with just conversing with Hachiman by themselves. I mean, as a way to calm her nerves, Yukino Shida asked Irohasu to just stay and just listen in on their conversation.
プロム、俺が手伝ってもいいか。
There it is. Is she gonna say yes? Is she going to allow him to help out with the prom?
お前の案は実際悪いもんじゃん。別に俺が何かするわけじゃない。あくまでお前の指示の下で動く。案出しの壁や。
Man, I remember so much in the light novel that in this part when he's giving Yuki Noshida that incessant stream of sentences describing how he's going to help her with the prom, he did so in a state of nervousness, since he is somewhat afraid that she may not be able to understand the true reason behind his offer for help. He wants to help her. In his mind, deep inside, he really wants to help Yuki Noshida, but he's just too nervous to say it. He's afraid that actually saying so may crumble everything that they have between them, their friendship, their dynamic, They're everything within that scope, in line with what has happened before. Since he's a loner, he has a very difficult time in explaining why he wants to help her. And likewise, Yuki Noshida has the same feelings towards Hachiman. They're both loners. Sometimes taking things out in the open is not going to be as easy as, say, an energetic person, such as like Yui Gahama, but then again, she herself is kind of afraid of taking the extra step and progressing her relationship with the other two. So they're still trudging along the line of admission and seclusion, but for both of them, and especially Hachiman, he really wants to cross that line and actually say upfront how he truly feels. But then again, it's going to be very difficult, and this case is shown in this scene. With his words, he hopes that she can understand him, but it's going to be a very difficult task in fulfilling. Just like before, him always helping out Yuki Noshida's problems and her always cursing herself for not being strong enough in solving them herself.
俺はお前を
The flashback.
助けたいと思ってる
Save you. He really wants to save you. Not help. Not help. But save.
お前を手伝ったりしないだが対立しないとは言ってない
Big brain Hachiman with another plan.
意見が割れたらどうするかなんて決まってるだろ
どちらが人に奉仕できるか勝負だ。
I fucking love it. I fucking love it when they remake a scene from season 1 with White Fox's formula. Fucking love it. Oh man. It just takes me back to when I first saw it. It was all fucking clunky and very like ravish and stuff. But now it's like very neat, organized. And also in season 1, the drawings of the characters were more in line with the original illustrations from the light novel from Honkan 8. So yeah. Subsequently in seasons 2 and 3, they diverted away from it. I mean, it's kind of disappointing, but it's not something that one would agonize over. So yeah. So with him making another prom proposal, she can improve herself and make a better one. I mean, fucking big brain Hachiman in the rescue. Well, I'll be damned. I'll be fucking damned. Bitch ass fucking Inohazu, you weren't even fucking there in season 1, in the very fucking beginning of all this shit. Sit your ass down! I mean, oh wait, you already sitting down. But, fucking shut the fuck up! You have no say in this shit. She has no say in this shit. She wasn't even there when the fucking challenge was made of whoever has the most service acts within the club at the end of the year wins. And the loser has to do whatever the winner wants him to do. She wasn't even there. Fucking bitch. Of course you don't know what it means, man.
こんなのほとんど告白だ。それか血は喧嘩か別れ話。そういうのを後で聞かされていた私はなんだかバカみたいだ。まるで無関係なんだって思い知らされたみたいで少し気に入らない。
I mean, yeah, she wasn't even there from the beginning. She only shows up in the middle of the story. I mean, does she have any leverage over Yuki Noshida? I mean, Yuki Noshida has essentially the same sort of, well, almost the same sort of personality with Hachiman. Hirohasu has like a double-sided personality. She's like a cutesy little girl, and a sly and foxy witch. I mean, yeah.
何か
あ、いや、なんていうか、乗ってくるのが少し意外だ。
知らんがな。
別に不思議。
True. None of our business. Never was your business. It never was. It never was Iroha's business. It's between Hachiman and Yukino. Yuigahama and Iroha's are only looking from the side.
知らない？負けず嫌いなの私。
まさかこんなにもちゃんと
That competitive spirit never seems to fail from Yukino.
本当に本当にちゃんと責任取ってほしい。だいたい今までだって責任取ってもらってないのに。それなのに責任だなんて言い訳みたいに軽々しく言わないでほしい。先輩も雪乃先輩もゆい先輩もめんどくさいけど、私だってそれなりにめんどくさいんだから。本当にめんどくさい。
これで最後だから。
She's tearing up.
これでちゃんと終わりにできる。
She's tearing up. This will be the last
じゃあお
one.
先です。あ、鍵だけお願いしますね。振り返ってみた雪乃先輩は泣いているように見えた。
Damn.
あの人めんどくさい。マジにすごいと思うね。超時々。
Are they finally gonna show up?
土地が悪い。そういうのめんど
The
くさい。
two boys?
本当。今
The two boys?
やんないと。
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ, man. That concludes episode number 5. So, I mean, there's so much stuff just been cut off, man. For example, in the post-credit scene, after Hachiman left the room and Yukino and Iroha's were finishing up their work for the day, Yukino looked over and tried to use the glasses that Hachiman gave her for her birthday, but she like stopped right when she was about to get it. Although she said that she wasn't going to give up on Hachiman's challenge, she was still kind of like hesitant on doing so, which means that she still doesn't want his help in organizing the prom. She still wants to do it by herself. On the inside, she's very adamant on organizing the prom by herself. She's very determined to see out this rite of passage that Hyasuka Sensei hinted in being for her own growth. That's what it is. And in her eyes, in order to jumpstart and complete her growth, she has to abandon Hachiman. Like seriously abandon him, like just drop him from her life. Since that is what loners usually do. You look back at when Hachiman attempted to drop things with Yuigahama in season 1, when he found out that she was the one whose dog was saved from being run over. And after knowing that fact, he was burdened. He thought that Yuigahama was burdened so much with the guilt of him saving Sable, the dog, that she was attached to him as a way of repaying off that debt that he unknowingly gave to her. In the end, that ended up badly because he had one perspective that was drastically different from what Yuigahama saw it. Yuigahama saw it as opportunity to create a friendship or a relationship with Hachiman, whereas Hachiman saw him saving that dog as just like a very light event and must not have any like significance in her life. I mean, like how would a loner react if a person suddenly came up to them and was acting way too friendly than they expected? They would normally want to just shoo it off because they don't know how to treat it. They're not sure how to react properly with that sort of love, friendship, quirkiness, stuff like that. It's kind of the same way here, where Yukino believes that discarding Hachiman after the prom wouldn't leave her distraught with disastrous consequences. In her eyes, she still believes that her relationship with Hachiman was never that strong enough to begin with. She sees that in the same light that Hachiman did with Yui and her dog in the beginning. Hachiman ultimately got over it and mended the wounds from his outburst with Yui Gahama. It's possible that Yuki Noshida right now may be undergoing that same problem of miscalculating her friendship with Hachiman. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. She loves Hachiman. He's like the only one that truly understands her for who she is. He's the only one that is very welcoming of her icy personality. When she recovered when she recovered during the cultural festival, and when she resorted back to those assertive traits, he reacted with elation. Well, with implicit elation. I mean, he was smiling and just like kind of blurted out like a tiny smile in appreciation of that return. So in the end, Yukino believes that this whole thing with leaving Hachiman away from her life would do more good than bad. But as it stands right now, with her conduct away from Hachiman, it's not going to go down that route. It's not going to meet her expectations. She will suffer. That is a fact. From my understanding, she is definitely going to suffer. And how is she going to repair her troubles? Well, she might need some help from somebody. And with that, I think that completes everything. I've had a good time. I can't wait for what's next in episode 6. And until then, I'll see you later. This has been Pedro Romero, signing out.